Hi and welcome to our next sneak peek. Okay, so this is my card that I'm going to just quickly show you how to make. Now this is using a new stamp set from the Spring Summer mini catalogue, which is called Moon Lake, which I absolutely love. Sorry, you're getting the reflection of my light there, which isn't good. So this is the entire stamp set. I'm trying to show it you, but I somehow can't. Let me see if I can move that light out or turn it off. Maybe that will help. Okay, so you can see it's got a cute duck image, and it's got a little bird on. You can't really see that. I'll turn it around there. Look, it's got a bird, and it's got a couple of quotes, and then I've used this little boat here, which I absolutely love. Okay, I'm going to turn my light back on because otherwise I can't see properly to work. Okay, so now this size card I've done slightly differently. This is 21 centimetres by 20 centimetres, scored at 10 centimetres, and then my layers are 20 centimetres by 9 centimetres and 19.5 centimetres by 9.5 centimetres. Okay, just because I wanted something a little bit different for this one, make it a little bit longer. Okay, so my cream piece, I'm going to stamp my image and my words on. Now I'm going to use Stays On purely because I want to watercolour. I love watercolouring, and so for this particular stamp set I just thought it really works. So I'm just going to use my Stays On ink, and I'm just going to ink up my stamp. Look how detailed and gorgeous that stamp is. So I'm just going to, and yes, I have just re-inked it, so it's gorgeous and juicy, my ink pad. So I'm then just going to stamp towards the left hand side of the card. Okay, so there we go, and then I'm going to do the same again with my greeting, making sure that's nice and inked up. Okay, and hopefully that's reasonably, wow, it's a little bit on the wonk, but it's okay. So then I'm going to watercolour. Now to watercolour, I love using the aqua brushes, and if you haven't got one, they are an absolute must in every crafter's tool bag. You can just use a paintbrush and a tub of water, but invariably anyone who knows me will know I'm very messy, and so that's not going to work for me. So to make it work, you just want to make sure it's nice and wet. I can feel mine's wet because I've literally just used it. If it wasn't wet, you would just squeeze this bit here, and then that will allow the water to go through a little bit more for you. Okay, now the beauty of our ink pads is if you give them a squeeze and then open them up, you can use the pool here as your paint or as your ink to paint with. So I'm going to use this Soft Sky for my my sea. Okay, so you can see I love watercolouring because you don't have to be overly accurate at all with it. So I'm just going to add some there, and if you find your brush is a bit wet, you can always dry it off a little bit. Okay, and I might just take that a little bit further out. Okay, that'll do. Next I want to use some baked brown sugar, and that's going to be for my boat. So again, I've just squidged the lid for want of a technical term, and then I'm just going to paint my boat. Now I'd quite like the outside of my boat to be a bit darker than the inside of my boat. I'm sure that's probably the wrong way around actually, but that's what I did the first time, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, and the second time, because I want it to be a little bit less, I'm just going to, I don't know if you can see that, wiggle it off in the background a bit so it's slightly lighter colour. Okay, and again with watercolouring, I mean you can spend as long as you want doing it. For me it's just about getting colour on there, and that's about it really. Okay, so I'm moving on. If you want to clean your brush in between, you just give it a scribble. I'm going to now use a bit of soft suede so that I can colour my tree, and obviously that will be the branch of my tree. Okay, I'm just going to follow the branches up through there as well. So you can see how quick and easy this comes together with a bit of watercolouring. Okay, and yes, green is my favourite, and it's probably the green that most people have if they've got Stampin' Up ink pads, will be Old Olive. Firm old favourite, comes in so useful for so many different things. People always ask me what my favourite colours are, and I always forget to say Old Olive, but actually it's one of the first colours I bought, and it's one of my go-to colours for lots and lots of things. It's one of the ones you kind of just take for granted. It's almost like a black, you have to have it. Okay, so you can see again, Mrs. Accurate and all that, I'm just scribbling almost over mine, leaving some branches, leaving some gap where the sun's coming through, going over some so it's a bit darker in some areas than other areas. Okay, so you can see that's coming together quite nicely. I'm also then going to just colour my grass that's around the boat as well. And then I reckon this bit must be beach, because it's a boat, there's sea, so I reckon it must be beach. So therefore I'm going to use my Hello Honey, because that's quite a nice kind of dirty yellow colour, for want of a better word, which is kind of like a bit sandy, isn't it? So I'm just going to stick a bit of sand along here. You can see how quick and easy is, I'll just colour those in a little bit. Okay, so there we go. So that is my card. So all I'm then going to do is layer it up, add a little bit of twine and light blue Peter. Here's one I did earlier. Okay, and I don't know about you, how quick, simple and elegant is that card? Fantastic. Well, thanks for joining me, and I will see you a bit later for maybe another sample or two. Bye.